Aloha everybody, and welcome to Breath and Flow Yoga. My name is Katie and I'll be guiding you through your practice today. For your practice, all you will need is your mat with you. If you do like to practice with a pillow or something to have a comfortable seat for our breath work, feel free to grab that now and get yourself comfortable. So today we'll be working on our happiness breath. This breath will get us into a calm and parasympathetic nervous system state. So that allows us to get out of our fight or flight, that high energy, that stress mode that we are pretty much always in our day-to-day life, and taking us into our rest and digest. And that's the one that allows the body to recover and become more healthy and calm and relaxed. So as a reminder, always take this practice at your own pace. Child's pose is always available for you if a pose does not suit your practice. And I'm here as a guide to lead you through our hip opening flow and our breath work today. So go ahead and get comfortable. Come into an easy cross-legged position. Allow yourself to close your eyes and just begin to let the sound of my voice come into your mind so that you can listen to the instruction. So as you close your eyes, begin to feel your hips press down in towards your mat space. Feel the groundedness down beneath you and take that energy up through the spine, where in your mind's eye, imagine each vertebrae beginning to stack one on top of the next. So you'll feel a gentle pull in through the belly. Your rib cage gently knits towards your spine. And with that, begin to lift up through the collarbones. Let your shoulders peel back. And if it feels good, to let your shoulders shrug up towards your ears and kind of give yourself some shoulder circles and shrugs here to get those shoulders to relax down your back. Feel free to take a few of those here. We'll all meet with those shoulder blades melting down the back with your heart expanding forward. Let your throat feel open as it presses forward, letting your chin stay parallel with the mat. And again, here through the face, oftentimes we feel tension through the jaw. So allow yourself to open through your mouth, unhinge the jaw, stretch through your face. Feel softness and ease between the eyebrows. And then feel that lift through the crown of the head. It's as if someone had a tiny string and was just gently pulling, allowing your spine to lengthen up towards the sky while still staying grounded through those hips. Let's begin our equal breath in and out through the nose. But our first breath, let's inhale in through the nose, fill the belly. And as you exhale, let's just exhale that out the mouth. Let it go. One more time like that. Inhale in through the nose. Audible breath, exhale out. Good. Let's begin to breathe in and out through the nose, becoming more aware of the sound of our own breathing. So as you inhale in through the nose, fill your belly, fill your lungs. Let that breath travel to the top of your throat. And let that breath smoothly exhale out. Just take 2 to 3 rounds of even breath in and out through the nose, concentrating on that breath traveling down to the base of your belly. So you really want to fill the body with that prana, that life force, that big inhale in. And empty that breath completely out. Let the breath smoothly release through the nose. 2 more times like that. Inhale deep into the belly. And exhale, release completely out. Good. One more time. Inhale deep into the belly. Fill the lungs. Fill up through the heart space. relax and let that exhale fully release all of your breath out. So continue to breathe like this in and out through the nose as I explain our happiness calming breath today. So for this breath, we'll be inhaling to the count of 5, and then we'll hold that breath for about 7 seconds. After we hold our breath, we will exhale for 8 seconds. So short-ish inhale, hold the breath, suspend it, and then as you exhale, you're going to lengthen that exhale out. So let's try that together. Inhale deep in through your nose on the count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Try to do these next few with that count in your head. Inhale, breath. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Good. Deep breath in. Exhale out the mouth. Let it go. Good, so I hope that brought you into a calmer space. Let's all continue our breath in and out through our nose, our yogic breath. And let's begin to move here. So if you had a pillow, go ahead and remove that to the side. We're gonna get started right into those hips. So we're gonna come into our frog pose. You have the option here to fold your mat lengthwise like so for a little bit of extra padding on your knees. So you're gonna take your knees out wide. You want your feet to be about at a 90-degree bend, so flex through those feet. And you can stay right here, so you're up on your hands. Maybe you begin to let those knees kind of slide out a little bit further. Feel that stretch deep in your hips and inner hamstrings. And then maybe you come down onto your forearms, relax your head and neck, or even maybe down onto the earth completely. If you want, you can even take that pillow out in front of you right now to kind of rest your head. We'll be here for a few breaths. So close those eyes, take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Feel your hips sink in towards the earth. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. I know this pose is intense and we're coming right into it. Allow yourself to just sit in that feeling. Not fighting, not resisting, but just being in this moment. Notice as you breathe into your belly, with every exhale, you're able to kind of give in a little bit more and relax into this space. Let's take 2 more breaths. Inhale in and exhale out. 1 more breath. Inhale in And exhale out. Nice work, guys. Let's begin to move out of this safely. So slowly come up onto your hands. Take your toes in towards your hips. Shift your hips back. Close your knees together. And we can unfold our mat. Come back to a normal mat space. And we'll just come into a child's pose. So take your big toes to touch, knees open out as wide as you'd like. If it feels good after that stretch to have them close together, feel free to keep them that way. Either way, extend your arms out long in front of you. Reach your arms towards the top of your mat as your hips press back towards your heels. And just notice how the body feels. Notice how the hips feel. If you haven't already, begin to set an intention for your practice today. And I invite you to have the intention of just be. Meaning staying in this present moment. Noticing everything around you and just letting it be. Not fighting. Not trying to do. Just accepting. Take another breath here. Good. Now as you inhale, shift forward onto hands and knees, coming into your tabletop position. Let's begin our cat-cow breathing. So inhale, lift your heart, lift your tailbone, open your chest forward, look up towards the sky. Exhale, curl back up and in, cat pose, tuck your chin, look between the thighs. Inhale, cow pose, shoulders back, tailbone high, lift up, look towards the sky. Exhale, curl back up and in, tuck your chin, arch through your spine. Inhale, shoulders back, tailbone high, move with your breath. Once you begin that exhale, begin to curl back up and in, pull your belly back towards your spine, tuck your chin. Good. Feel that nice undulation through the spine, and if you feel any other movement arise here, like maybe you circle into the head and neck, maybe you sway side to side and just kind of get some freedom of movement on your mat here, allow yourself to move into that. We're really just working into the spine, warming the spine, getting some movement dynamically. Good. Last full breath here, working maybe into the wrists, head and neck, hips, side waist. Good. Let's come back through a neutral spine. Gaze down at your hands. Spread your fingers wide. Ground through those palms. Tuck your toes behind you. Shift your hips back towards your heels. Really ground in towards your hands. Spread your fingers wide and begin to pull up and in through your low belly. So you're coming to a crouch-like position. Pull your knees towards your stomach. Press your hips back. Really ground in towards those hands. Look out in front of you. Take an inhale. Exhale, lengthen your legs. Press your hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Let's flow with those crouched positions. So inhale, look forward. Bend your knees. Let those knees hover. Exhale, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. 2 more times. Inhale, look forward, hover, crouch. Exhale, downward facing dog. 1 more time. Inhale, hover, crouch, look forward. Exhale, hips to the sky. Come into your downward facing dog. So as you're here in this first downward dog, begin to pedal your feet side to side. Shift forward, shift back. Find some nice little movements here that allow you to open up into your posture. Once you do settle into your downward dog, hands are shoulders width distance, feet are hips width distance. Let your hips press high to the sky. On your next inhale, let's lift those heels high, lift your hips high. And then exhale, lower your heels back down. Let's take 2 more like that. Inhale, lift through your heels, come up onto your tippy toes. Exhale, lower your heels down. 1 more time. Inhale, lift through your heels, come up onto your tippy toes. Exhale, lower those heels back down. Settle into your downward dog. 1 more breath here. Now as you exhale, look forward, look between your thumbs, bend your knees, begin to tiptoe your feet all the way up until you come to the top of your mat, feet between your wrists. Bend your knees deeply. Let's take our feet about hips width distance. So you should have 2 fists width between the arches of your feet. Keep those knees bent. Take a hold of opposite elbows, ragdoll arms. Relax your head and neck in that window that you've created with the arms. Maybe you sway side to side. Wherever you are, let your upper half of your body feel heavy, feel limp. You should feel a nice length through the backs of the legs, through the low back, through the upper back. Really getting that whole posterior chain of the body to lengthen softly, not forcing. Take another breath here. And then release your hands down to the earth. Inhale, lengthen your legs. Take your fingertips to graze your shins. Lengthen your spine. Look out past the top edge of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Soften your knees. Take your forehead close towards your shins. Ground through your feet. We're going to rise up, mountain pose. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up to the sky. Extend, look high. And now as you exhale, bend your elbows, drop your head back, tiny back bend. Lift through your heart, squeeze through your shoulder blades. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hinge and bow forward all the way back down towards your toes. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift, fingertips graze your shins or your mat. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back into high plank pose. So in your high plank pose, wrists are right underneath your shoulders, hips in line with your shoulders. Press your hips back towards your heels as you reach your heart forward, lengthen your spine. Deep breath in, engage through your core. And then as you exhale, we're going to take our knees down to the mat. Walk your hands forward into puppy dog pose, Anahatanasana. Let your heart melt down, gazes forward, tilt your tailbone up towards the sky. So you're really opening the shoulders. Gaze out in front. As you inhale, shift onto your forearms. Slide your knees back, coming into Sphinx pose. Let your elbows be slightly in front of your shoulders. Lift through your heart, shoulders back. Keep your head and neck even, so you don't want to crank your neck or look down. Just keep even gaze in front of you. Good. Lower your chest down. Let's take our hands right under our shoulders. Point your elbows back, shoulders back. Take an inhale, lift through your heart, coming into your first baby cobra. Keep the tops of your feet glued to the mat. Hips are glued to the mat. Lift through your heart and spine. One more breath in. Exhale, lower. Tuck your toes, hips towards your heels, and then lift those hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Bend your knees, look forward, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift, fingertips graze the shins or the earth. Exhale, fold back over your legs. Inhale, mountain pose, ground through your feet, rise all the way up to standing, reach up, look up, lengthen. Exhale, bend your elbows, drop your head back, baby back bend. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, hinge and bow forward all the way down to your toes. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back into high plank pose. Pause here, take an inhale. Now you can lower down onto your knees if you would like for our first chaturanga. Let your shoulders draw down your back. Pull your lower core in. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Keep those elbows in tight towards your body. Inhale, roll your shoulders back. Lower down through those thighs. So you want to press your heart forward. And then as you exhale, tuck your toes behind you. Press your hips back towards your heels. And then lift your hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. And full breath out. Good, bend your knees. Look forward, step or hop, top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. Exhale, fold back in. Ground through your feet. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose. Reach your arms up to the sky, look up. Exhale, baby back bend. Open your heart towards the sky. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, hinge and bow forward. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose. Inhale in. Now as you exhale, flow through your chaturanga, your vinyasa. Inhale, lift your heart. You can come into upward facing dog. Lift through your thighs, lengthen through your arms, heart presses forward. Exhale, roll back through your toes, hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Full round of breath here. Full exhale out. This time as you bend your knees, look forward. Take your feet to the outsides of your hands at the top of your mat. Turn your toes out slightly, heels turn in. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. Now as you exhale, bend your knees, open your knees out towards the outer edges of your mat. Lower your hips down towards your heels, coming into Malasana squat, yogi squat. Hands come to your heart center, hips press down towards the earth. Press your elbows to the insides of your knees so you're really getting deep into those hips and the shoulders. Ground through your heels. Heart presses towards your thumbs, lengthen through your spine, sit those hips low. Big breath in. And big breath out. Just be good. Now as you inhale, ground through those heels, we're gonna rise up to standing. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, look up. Now as you exhale, arms come out to a T, turn those toes in, heels out, and let's forward fold with our legs slightly wider. Relax your head and neck. Good. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. As you exhale, step your left foot back. Right foot follows. Inhale, plank pose. As you exhale, flow through your vinyasa. So lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now remember, you can always skip those vinyasas. We'll always meet in a downward dog. You can even add an extra push-up if you're feeling up for that today. It's totally up to your practice. Now as you inhale, extend your right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Ground through your hands evenly and then begin to bend your right knee. Let your hips stack open. Feel that nice expansion through the inner thigh, through the front of that right hip. Reach your right knee high. Now as you exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest. Place your right foot to the top of your mat. Inhale for crescent pose. So ground through that right foot, reach your arms up towards the sky. Square your hips forward. Relax through your shoulders, really lengthen through that back leg. Take one more inhale in here. Now as you exhale, open warrior two. So you want your front heel to be in line with the back arch of your left foot. Let your right knee open out to the right. Relax your shoulders. Gaze out over your right middle finger. Inhale, reach forward. Take your right hand to the inside of your right foot. Tense your right hand for a little bit more length. Left arm to the sky. Stack those shoulders, side angle pose. Good. You can also have your forearm to the top of your thigh if that's more appropriate for your practice. Wherever you are, you're opening that right knee out. Now ground through that right foot, reverse your warrior. Inhale, reach all the way up and back, look up towards the sky, roll that right shoulder back, ground into your front foot. And exhale, windmill those hands down to the earth. Right foot sends all the way up to the sky through three-legged dog, reach it high, maybe even bend your right knee, stack your hips open.
And lower that right foot down to meet the left. Downward facing dog. Inhale, three-legged dog, left leg to the sky, reach it high. Bend your left knee, stack your hips open. Feel your left knee reach up, open the hips out, square your shoulders off. As you exhale, begin to hug your left knee towards your chest. Place your left foot to the top of your mat. Inhale for crescent pose. So square your hips forward. Get deep into your front knee. Your back leg is long and straight. Take one more breath here. As you exhale, open, warrior two. So set your footing first. Bend deep into your front knee. Your back foot is about a 45-degree angle. Round through your feet as you lift through your heart. Inhale, reach forward. Left hand comes to the inside of your left foot. Right arm to the sky. Stack your shoulders, stack your hips. Again, you can always have your forearm on the top of your left thigh as well. This allows you to keep your spine long but still get deep into those hips. Wherever you are, you're using that tricep to open your left knee out. Next, inhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, rise all the way up. Reach back as if you're high-fiving the wall behind you. Roll that left shoulder back. Exhale, windmill, hands down to the earth. Spin onto your back toes and take that left leg all the way up through three-legged dog. Reach it high to the sky. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a full round of breath. Inhale and exhale it out. Bend your knees, look forward. Take your feet to the outsides of your hands at the top of the mat. Toes out, heels in, lower your hips down. Inhale for your Malasana squat, yogi squat. Sit your hips low, heart opens. And exhale, sit in a little bit deeper. Next inhale, let's rise up to standing, reach all the way up to the sky. Exhale, open your arms out, turn your toes in, heels out. Let's forward fold, wide legs. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step your left foot back, step your right foot back. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, your choice of flow, chaturanga. Inhale, lift your heart, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full round of breath. Good. Inhale, three-legged dog, right leg to the sky. Bend your right knee, stack your hips open. Let's move with our breath. Exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest. Place your foot to the top of the mat. Inhale, crescent pose. Exhale, open, warrior two. Inhale, hinge forward, reach forward, side angle pose. That right hand comes down to the inside of the right foot, left arm to the sky. Inhale, reach all the way up and back, reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill those hands down to the earth. Right foot travels all the way up to the sky, three-legged dog, reach it high, maybe even bend your right knee out. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, let's switch sides. Inhale, three-legged dog, left leg to the sky. Exhale, step your foot to the top of the mat. Inhale, crescent pose. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, hinge forward, side angle. Take an exhale here. Inhale, reverse your warrior, reach up and back. Exhale, windmill those hands down to the mat. Send your left foot all the way back up to the sky through three-legged dog. Maybe bend your knees, stack open. And exhale, downward facing dog. Full breath in. And full breath out. Bend your knees, look forward. Step the feet to the outsides of your hands to the top of the mat. A little bit different this time. Turn your toes out even more. Heels in even more. We're coming into horse pose, so bend your knees at about a 90-degree bend. Now as you inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. And exhale, take your hands through heart center. So you want to get low in those hips. Let your knees press up. Maybe even sway side to side. Good, stay with it. I know those legs are trembling, shaking, those hips are opening. Good, now let's take our hands to the insides of our knees. Lengthen your heart forward. It's okay if those shoulders shrug up towards the ears. You want to create a nice opposition with your hands. So press your knees away, sink your hips low. Take it inhale to lengthen forward. Now as you exhale, let's twist to the left. Dip your right shoulder down, roll your left shoulder back. Inhale through center. And exhale, twist that left shoulder down, right shoulder back. Sink your hips low. One more time each side. Inhale, lengthen through center. And exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen through center. And exhale, twist. Good, let's come back through center. Inhale, lengthen. Now as you exhale, turn your toes in, heels out. Take your feet a little bit wider. Lengthen your heart forward, and that's forward fold wide legs. Feel free to grab a hold of opposite elbows and maybe even sway side to side. Relax your head and neck. Feel the backs of the legs elongate.
So now you're here again, knocking at my door.
Good.
Too late for, I'm sorry for.
Let's come back through center. Take your time. Plant your hands down to the earth. Heel toe your feet, hips width distance. Inhale, lengthen, halfway uplift. And exhale, plant your palms. Step your feet back into high plank pose. Take an inhale in. And exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, lift your heart, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips high to the sky. Full breath in. And full breath out. Inhale, three-legged dog, right leg to the sky. Bend your right knee, stack open. Exhale, hug your right knee deep in towards your chest. Place your right foot to the top of the mat. Inhale, crescent pose. Exhale, open, warrior two. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, take your right hand down to the inside of your right foot, left arm to the sky. So we're gonna stay here for another breath. Take your left arm, maybe it begins to tuck behind your back, getting a deeper shoulder stretch. If this feels good and you do want to practice your bind today, you can take your right arm underneath your right leg, grab a hold of your left hand and roll your left shoulder back, coming into your bind if you want to get deeper in your shoulders. Good. Stay for one more breath wherever you are. And then inhale that left arm to the sky. If it's not already, ground through that right foot. Rise up, warrior two. And let's lengthen that right leg. Good. Inhale, shift forward. Create length. Let your right hand come down towards your shin or the earth. Left arm to the sky. So in triangle pose, Trikonasana, it is most important to just lengthen your spine forward rather than trying to get low. So see, as I try to get really low, my spine begins to get a little bit more crooked. It's better to have that spine long and hips and shoulders square. Maybe you gaze up at that left thumb. Take a big breath in here. And big breath out. Ground through your right foot. Inhale, rise up with a straight leg. Turn your right palm to the sky. Let's reverse our triangle pose. So reach up and back. Keep your right leg long. Feel length through that right side. Good, inhale back through center. Take your hands to your hips. Turn your toes in, heels out. So we're gonna come into a wide-legged forward fold. This will be a lot wider than the other ones that we've done already in class. So take your hands to your hips, lift your heart high, big breath in. As you exhale, hinge and bow forward. Relax your head and neck at the bottom. So you have a choice here. Hands can come to the outer blades of your feet. You can walk your hands back behind you. Take the crown of your head towards the mat. You can grab on to the big toes with your peace fingers. That's your middle and index finger. And grab a hold onto those big toes. Let your head and neck relax. Let it dangle. Let this first side just be about lengthening the legs. Letting the heart melt towards the earth, hips towards the sky. One more breath in. And one more breath out. Good, let's inhale. Walk those hands back underneath the face if they're not already. Begin to walk your hands over to your right foot. Turn your right toes forward, spin onto the back toes. Lower your back knee down. Shift your hips back, flex your right foot. Coming into half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. Take an inhale, lengthen your heart towards your toes. And then exhale, fold towards that right leg. Relax your head, square your hips out. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. One more inhale in. And exhale out. Now as you inhale, begin to shift into a low lunge. Heel toe your right foot to the outer edge of your mat. Hands come to the inside of your right foot. Let your right knee open out, lift through your heart, look up, lengthen. Exhale, maybe you come onto your forearms. You can stay up on your hands as well. Just allow yourself to sink into that right hip. We've done a lot of hip opening, so just notice how it feels. If you want to get even deeper here, since we have been doing a lot of hip opening, you can take your right shoulder underneath your right knee. And you can stay right here, just kind of working yourself underneath that right leg. This is more level 2, 3 yogis, so keep in mind that you do not have to go here. If you did work that right shoulder under, maybe your hands come on the earth, and you can even shift forward and come into a hurdler's pose. And lift that back leg, maybe you kick that right foot out. Only if you want to go there. You do not have to, just letting that option stay. If you're on your forearms, you can begin to come up onto your hands. Take your time. Once you're up on your hands, we'll all meet, tucking our left toes. Inhale, your right leg all the way up to the sky. Reach it high, bend your right knee, stack your hips open. So again, you can stay right here if you would like to flip your dog, and you have the space. I barely have the space. You can bend your right knee and begin to drip that right foot down towards the earth. Spin your left toes towards the back of the room. Right arm extends forward. Again, this is just an option. It feels good through those hips and through the heart. If you went there, if you flipped your dog, use your core. Take your right hand back down towards the earth. Spin back, take your right leg back to the sky. And lower that right foot down to meet the left. Downward facing dog. Good, let's take a full round of breath before we move on to the other side. Inhale, your left leg high. Bend your knees, stack those hips open. Exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest. Place your left foot to the top of the mat. Inhale, rise, crescent pose. Exhale, open, warrior two. Inhale, shift forward. Take that left hand down to the inside of your left foot, right arm to the sky. Stack those shoulders. So again, you can stay right here and just feeling that nice opening in the hip. If you want more in the shoulders, your right arm can come behind your back. Maybe it tucks around the front of your left hip. Maybe your left arm comes underneath and reaches for that right hand. Let your shoulders pull down and away. Again, those are just options. Wherever you are opening your shoulders and your hips for one more breath. Ground into that left foot. Keep that right arm, reach it up to the sky. Inhale, rise up. Lengthen your left leg. Left palm to the sky. Inhale, reach up and back. Oh, I'm sorry. No, let's reach forward first. Triangle pose. Left hand towards your shin. Right arm towards the sky. Stack your hips and shoulders. I got excited. So you want to make sure that your spine is lengthened. Reach that right arm high. So your left hand, it doesn't have to be on your shin. It could be on the earth. But you want to be able to lengthen your spine as much as you can. Crown of the head will extend forward. Hips and shoulders stack. Good, deep breath in here. Deep breath out wherever you are. Maybe you're looking at that right thumb, if that's okay, on your head and neck. And let's ground through that left foot. Now inhale, reach all the way up and back. Reverse your triangle pose. Lengthen through that left side. Good, and let's come back through center. Take your hands to your hips. Turn your toes in, heels out. We're gonna come into our wide-legged forward fold. So you have a couple options here. You can take your hands behind your back to interlace through your fingers, and then lift your heart, squeeze your shoulder blades together, look up towards the sky, and then exhale, hinge and bow forward. If you are in that shoulder stretch, your head and neck will relax as you let your fist come over the crown of your head. If you did not choose that shoulder stretch, you can come into any of the previous options we had with the hands around the feet. Maybe the big toe holds. Maybe you walk your hands underneath, letting the crown of your head come towards the earth. Wherever you are, really let your spine just drip and melt towards your mat. Good. Lengthen that spine. This pose is what I like to call the happy yogi pose, because when we're hanging upside down like this, it allows us to produce more serotonin towards the brain. It's our little yogi happy pill. So if you're feeling a little blue, you can always just hang upside down. See if it helps. Good, let's inhale, come up, halfway. If you had your hands interlaced, release them and just let them go. Walk your hands over towards your left foot. Turn your left toes forward, spin onto the back toes. Right knee lowers down. Shift your hips back. We're coming into half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. Square your hips out. Lead your heart towards your left big toe. Lengthen your chest forward. So create length through the spine before you fold in to your degree. In Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits, you could even be with your hands at your hips, sitting up. You can have blocks on either side of your shins, or you're crawling forward. It just depends on your degree today. Last breath. Good, shift forward, bend your left knee. Let's heel toe the left foot all the way off of your mat, coming into lizard pose. So your hands are right underneath your shoulders. Lengthen your heart forward, shoulders back. And you can stay right here in lizard pose. Let that left knee open out. One thing, make sure that ankle is right underneath the knee. You don't want it back here like this. You want it right under the knee. Maybe you come down onto your forearms. And you might stay right here. Maybe this is your happy little place here, opening that hip. Again, level 2, 3 yogis. If you want more, you can begin to work your left shoulder underneath your left knee. It's kind of like right in that knee pit area. Maybe you're just working that shoulder up underneath. If you did so on the other side and you would like to come into the arm balance, you can let that shoulder crawl underneath, palms down, and you'll shift forward. Create a shelf with those arms so you're in kind of those chaturanga arms. You'll shift forward. Create that shelf. My mic's in the way. Create that shelf. And then extend that left leg forward. Right leg might lift up off the earth. Wherever you are. Try it out. Play around. Or let that hip open wherever you are. Take another breath. We'll all meet with our hands right underneath the shoulders. So come on up if you're down. Good, and then tuck your right toes. We're gonna send that left leg all the way up to the sky. Bend your left knee, stack open. So you can stay right here, just opening that hip, maybe even take hip circles. Or you can take that left foot, drip it down towards the earth, spin both toes to the back of your room and extend your left arm long to flip your dog. Coming into a nice back bend here, heart opening, hips towards the sky. Relax your head and neck back. Really ground into that right hand. Use your core to slowly come back around. Left hand to the earth, left leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. And then lower that left foot down to meet the right. Let's pause for a full round of breath. Inhale in. And exhale out. Good, let's tiptoe those feet to the top of your mat. Take your feet between your wrists. Close your feet together, so you want big toes to touch, heels touch. Bend your knees deeply, lower your hips down towards your heels, coming into a crouch-like position. So you can stay here right on the toes. If you want a little bit of a balance challenge, feel free to grab a hold of your forearms. Good. You can even tuck your chin towards your chest, forehead towards your knees. Just feel a nice back line of the body opening up. Stretch through the arches of the feet. Deep breath here. Good. Let's release those hands down to the earth. Sit your hips back towards your mat. Take your time. Take the soles of the feet together, knees apart for butterfly pose. Take your hands, interlace them around your feet, roll your shoulders down and away, lift through your heart. As you exhale, hinge forward, let your elbows press your knees away. Bow in towards your toes. So you want to breathe deep into your belly. Imagine that breath traveling in towards your hips, letting them melt towards the earth. One more breath here. Maybe your arms reach out long if you want a little bit more in the hips and the low back. Good. Let's inhale, rise back up. Close your knees together like a book, feet hips width distance. Reach your arms out long and take your time. Come on to your back. So I'm just gonna spin around so that you can see the next poses. You can stay where you're at on your mat. Let your low back and spine rest down on the earth. Keep your left foot down. Extend your right leg straight to the sky. Take your right ankle to the top of your left thigh. Flex your right foot. We're coming into thread the needle or reclined pigeon pose. So begin to take your right hand to the inside of your right thigh and just press your right knee away. So you can stay right here. This is your pose, maybe today. If you want a little bit more, you can take your hands to interlace around your left hamstring and pull that left leg towards your torso. You want to keep your shoulders down on the earth. Head and neck is relaxed on the earth as well. Breathe here. Feel that stretch through the outer right hip. And if you ever take any of my other classes and I'm instructing pigeon pose, this is an appropriate pose to take if pigeon pose is not accessible to you. It's a little bit gentler on the knees. So just know you can always take this posture instead of traditional pigeon. Beautiful. Let's take our time. Release the left foot down. Extend your right leg straight up to the sky and lower your right foot down to meet the left. Let's switch sides. So left leg, extend it high, flex that left foot. Take that left ankle to the top of your right thigh. Left hand, press that left leg away. Feel that nice opening, and you might stay right here. If you want more in that hip, hands will interlace around the right hamstring and gently begin to pull that right leg towards your torso. Shoulders, head, and neck stay grounded. Keep that left foot flexed. When you flex that left foot in this position, it allows the knee to stay protected and engaged. Soften through the face. Stay here for another 2 breaths. Feel that nice stretch through the outer left hip. Good. Let's gently release that right leg down. Take your left leg, extend it straight to the sky, and lower your left foot down to meet the right. Let's hug our knees in towards our chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze. Maybe rock side to side. Feel the low back massage on the earth. And let's move into happy baby pose, a really good hip opener. So let's take our hands to the outer blades of our feet. Soles of the feet shine to the sky. Begin to pull your feet down so it'll make those knees come to the outsides of your rib cage. Keep your tailbone and shoulders down on the earth. So you want your whole spine to press down in towards the mat. Maybe rock side to side. Maybe you pull one knee down further than the other. Get deep in those hips. Take 2 more breaths here. If it feels good to open a leg out, you can do that as well. And then the opposite leg. Good. 1 more breath. Nice. And let's hug those knees back in towards heart center. Forehead comes up towards the knees this time. Give yourself a nice squeeze. And then extend your left leg straight out in front of you, down on the earth. Hug your right knee towards your chest. Relax your head and neck down. So really deep in that hug with your right knee towards your chest. This will massage the internal organs. Get into that low back decompression. Nice, so really hug that knee in, inhale. And then exhale, take your right knee over to the left, right arm out to the right, twist your spine, gaze to the right. Your right palm is facing up, so you're opening through that right shoulder. Deep breath into your low belly. So with every breath in, you'll feel your spine decompress. Good, let's come back up through center. Hug both knees in towards your heart space. And then extend your right leg long. Hug your left knee in towards your chest. And this will massage the opposite side of those organs inside the belly, the intestines. This is really good for digestion as well as lengthening through the low back. So really hug that left knee in, deep breath. Then as you exhale, take that left knee over to the right. Left arm out to the left. You want to gaze at that left thumb. Decompress through the spine. Deep breath in and out through the nose. And just allow yourself to be in this moment. Use your breath to decompress through your lower spine, to calm the mind. Good. Let's come back up through center. Hug both knees deep in towards your chest. Give them a squeeze, forehead towards your knees. Big breath in. And as you exhale, just let everything go. Let your toes drop out. Let your palms face up. Close your eyes. Come into your Shavasana. Let go of all control of the breath. Feel the body melt in towards your mat. Bring your mind's eye to the point between your eyebrows. So even though your eyes are closed softly, bring your inner gaze upwards. Allow your mind to come into a meditative state. If you have the gift of time and you would like to stay in your Shavasana, please feel free to stay there as long as you need or like. If you would like to join me in an easy seat, take your time and just roll off to one side or the other. Keep your eyes closed. Use your hands as eyes to crawl yourself up. Come into an easy seat when you're ready. Once you've met me in an easy seat, take your hands to heart center, bow your chin, close your eyes. Take a moment here to just be. Notice your heartbeat. Notice the sounds around you. Let them flow in and out through your ears and not take hold in the mind. And just notice, not becoming attached. Honor the light that dwells within each and every one of us. Thank you so much for practicing with me for our breath and flow yoga. Namaste. So thank you for joining me in on our practice today. This practice will happen again on Thursday, 10 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time. If you would like more information or you want to stay updated,
Please hit subscribe and like, comment, let me know what you want to see, let me know what you like here. And you can also find information on my Instagram at Katie Marie Yoga as well. So thank you so much for joining. I'll see you next time. Aloha.
Yesterday we followed the road of the moon. We drove late morning. You remembered me, the beauty of this life. Such a feeling to be alive. Something in my eyes. And back to where I'm from. Something in my eyes. See my eyes.